Hey, what's up everyone? It's Stargirl the Practical Witch and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another monthly prediction, and today we are going to figure out what is coming to your zodiac sign March 2020 based on tarot and astrology. So if you know your zodiac sign, you can go to the timestamps I provide down below and click the timestamp next to your zodiac sign to see what March 2020 has in store for you. But like I always say, your rising sign is going to be the most accurate horoscope, and a lot of you always ask me, why is the rising sign the most accurate? So I'm going to try to explain it in the simplest of terms, but pretty much the planets and their transits are going to impact each rising sign differently, because your rising sign is what sign is in your first house. So it kind of like sets the tone of your whole birth chart. Just in general, your rising sign horoscope is always going to be the most accurate. If you want to figure out what your rising sign is, you can just type into Google rising sign calculator, okay? And then in that calculator, you want to type in your date of birth, your time of birth, and place of birth. And then it will generate your rising sign. And then once you get that, you can go to the timestamps I provide down below and click the timestamp next to your rising sign. Now, if you don't want to figure out what your rising or moon sign is, that's fine. If you're new to astrology and you just want to check out your zodiac sign, that's cool, okay? Because your sun sign or zodiac sign horoscope is going to be accurate as well. It's just that your rising sign is going to be the most accurate. Now, if you're someone who knows your rising sign, sun sign, and moon sign, I do recommend checking out all three, because all three put together are going to give you a very accurate representation of what you can expect March 2020. Now, this is going to be a general overview of the month, but I am going to start doing weekly horoscopes. And the reason why I want to start doing weekly horoscopes is because there are too many things going on astrologically to just cover everything in one monthly video. So if you're looking for a more in-depth week-to-week analysis of what you can expect, be sure to check out my weekly horoscopes that I will be putting out for every zodiac sign. But this horoscope is just going to give you a general overview, but don't worry, we are going to get into the juicy details of it. So now that I've said my little speech, which was a mouthful, I really hope my mic picked all of that up, because if I had to say that again, I think I'd scream. But it's Mercury retrograde, so we can't be too careful. During Mercury retrograde, electronics mess up, so if my mic cuts out sometimes or something funky happens, just bear with me. It's Mercury retrograde, okay? So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the first zodiac sign, which is Aries. Okay, Aries, so let's see what is coming for you March 2020. So first of all, I have some tarot cards that I did draw for you so we can get an overview of what you can expect in the first part of the month. So the first two cards I have for you, Aries, is the Knight of Swords and the Three of Pentacles for the beginning of your March 2020. During this time, during the beginning of March, Mercury is going to be going retrograde in Aquarius in your 11th house. March 4th to the 16th, I really do feel like you're going to hear some news about a job, a career, or for some of you, because I kind of have the feeling, I'm just getting the feeling, Aries, some of you might have fallen out with a friend, some of you might have fallen out with some coworkers, some of you might have lost touch with people you used to be acquainted with. Around the 4th to the 16th, I think it's safe to say that a lot of you guys are going to receive some sort of news or some sort of message from someone you lost contact with. Because it's happening in your 11th house, this means like friendships, network circles, maybe old clubs you used to be a part of, or like I said, because it's the Three of Pentacles, some of you could be hearing from a school or hearing from a job, anything professionally too. So that's what you can expect, a very important message from an old acquaintance or something to do with a professional matter. Now, what I do want to tell you, Aries, is I channeled a message. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. This is more for Aries risings, but it could apply to your sun. I really felt, okay, with your sun being in the 12th house, Aries, that a lot of you, what this normally means is a lot of you are giving away your energy, okay? You guys are, for instance, Aries, a lot of you could could be focused on March on helping other people, helping your friends, helping the people around you that you feel like need your help or your healing, okay? Because Pisces season does that, especially for you, Aries. And I see that a lot of you could be getting deceived by somebody. And I don't want to sound dramatic. I'm just trying to warn you guys, okay? During this transit, it's very easy to get deceived by other people. It's very easy to let other people kind of suck all our energy psychically. And what I mean by that is normally during this time, we tend to want to help others or heal others, or we tend to be super empathetic towards people who may not deserve it and may just take up our time or energy, or, you know, kind of disrespect our boundaries. And Aries, you might already know who I'm talking about when I'm telling you. So be very careful in March about someone not being so honest, or if they're not being dishonest, this might be an energy vampire or someone who always needs your help, assistance, therapy, or your attention, and it's really taking away from you because you're putting so much of your energy into healing this person or being there for this person. Now, we do have some cards for the middle of the month, and that is Justice and the Two of Wands. So for some Aries, what I do see is a lot of business partnerships. I see a lot of partnerships in general, and the reason why that is because Venus, the planet of love and relationships, is going to be in your second house. So what this means, Aries, is a lot of you are going to be dealing with a lot of relationships on your everyday basis. Relationships are going to be something you really value, whether it's friendship relationships or romantic relationships. Now, a message I channeled for you, Aries, okay, especially with Saturn going into Aquarius March 22nd, I do feel, Aries, that a lot of you are meant to work alone, or if not work alone, a lot of you right now are meant to filter out people who are not a part of your purpose or not a part of the future that you see for yourself. So Aries, what I do want to tell you is if anyone exits your life in March, or if there's a falling out with someone in March, that is because the universe is getting those people out of your way because they are not beneficial to your future. Aries, this is a really big time right now astrologically with Saturn going into Aquarius, where a lot of people are stepping into their life purpose, which will greatly benefit the world. This is a very big time. The last time this happened was the 90s and also the 70s, the two biggest movements in history, and we're recreating that. So this is a time when people are really doing projects or doing things that really speak to their soul, doing things that make a greater difference in society. So it's very important the people you surround yourself with romantically or friendship-wise. So I really do see in March a lot of those people that are not a part of your destiny will be removed. However, people that are meant to be a part of your destiny it will be very obvious to you who those people are. Now, what I do want to tell you guys, for some Aries who are single and dating, I see you having multiple options 110%. I do see that you guys might have to make a decision between two people. Because we have the fire sign, the Two of Wands, and the Justice card, this really speaks to me of deciding between the logical choice or someone who's maybe fiery, passionate, but might not be all that reliable. Okay, so those are the two choices that I do have for you. Okay, so the end of your month, we do have the Three of Cups and the Page of Swords, Aries, and this actually talks about what I was explaining to you before. The Page of Swords is defensive energy. The Page of Swords is mistrustful energy, and the Three of Cups represents friendship. And it's quite interesting that in the other pair, we have the Knight of Swords and the Three of Pentacles, which is the same thing. Three of Pentacles is partnerships, and then we have the Knight of Swords. Three of Cups is partnerships, and we have the Page of Swords. So this really tells me, Aries, that I really do feel like friendships might be a little bit strained. There might be power struggles in your friendships or with work partnerships or with groups at work or your communities. And once again, Aries, this is really because you are meant to succeed on your own. Aries, you are the first sign of the zodiac, and especially when, you know, you're having Saturn go into your 11th house, This really is about establishing yourself first and not relying on other people to make your dreams come true. Rely on yourself, because Aries, you can do this. If anyone in the zodiac can, it is you. So you have Saturn going into your 11th house of wishes coming true. This means your wishes can come true with hard work, absolutely. But this also means learning to be okay doing it on your own and not relying so much on other people who are flaky or don't have the same passion as you or try to limit you and your creativity. Because Aries, I am seeing a tendency to people please a little bit. There might be someone in your life you try to people please a lot in order to make things copacetic, because that's how the energy is in Pisces season. But you don't have time to focus your energy on healing other people, getting someone else's life together. There's a full moon going on in Virgo in your 6th house in March 2020, which means this is the end of you fixing everyone else's problems. And there's a new moon in your 1st house of Aries, March 24th, which means it is the beginning of you fighting for yourself, your destiny, and your causes, and not having to always cater to other people or dim your light for other people or wait on other people. The good things that I see for you, Aries, is towards the end of March 2020, the sun is going to be entering your 1st house of Aries, which means a lot of you, all eyes are going to be on you. This is the perfect time for creative self-expression. The sun loves being in Aries, and when it's in your 1st house, this means that everyone is looking at you. You are the leader. This means that your creativity is shining, Aries. So because of that, a lot of people around you, like I was saying, might be threatened by the fact that you are shining and you're starting to, express your individuality. So that might cause some tension in your relationships. Towards the end of February, beginning of March, you might not have felt very motivated, Aries, but throughout March, you're going to notice that your motivation to succeed is at an all-time high. And Aries, I do truly believe that a lot of you who have been working hard on something, you are going to get some sort of recognition for a job well done. Aries, you have the best transits, I think, in my opinion, for long-term success, okay? And a lot of you guys might feel a lot of confusion right now in relationships, or maybe some confusion about how to channel or what direction you need to take career-wise. And I just heard the message, Aries, that you're not meant to know all the answers right now. As long as you are on the right track, it's like figuring out what path you need to take, as long as you are making that effort and using that Mars and Capricorn energy to achieve your goals, even if it's like shooting a bunch of arrows and missing, trust me, any hard work is going to be rewarded, especially with Jupiter and Capricorn. And with Saturn entering your 11th house, you will be granted amazing friendships, amazing circles, and you will also be granted your wishes, but this will come with hard work. But this is really good because a lot of the times people can work towards something, put a lot of energy into something, and never actually succeed at what they do. It's unfortunate, but it's true. But with your energy, Aries, you absolutely have the ability to do this. You just need to have the strength to let go of toxic, draining people who do not share your drive, purpose, or can help you in some way in being in alignment with your highest path. And also, this is just a time where you need to just shoot a bunch of arrows, even if it means missing your target, because I'm telling you, Aries, very soon you're going to figure out where one of those arrows landed and what direction you need to take. So that's all I have for you, Aries. If you want a more detailed analysis, I will have weekly horoscopes, and that's all I have for you. I'll see you later. Bye. All right, Taurus, let's see what's coming for you March 2020. So I do have these tarot cards to lay out the beginning, middle, and end of the month. But if you want a more detailed analysis, be sure to check out my weekly horoscopes I will be putting out. So Taurus, one thing that I look at when I look at your horoscope is your planetary ruler, which is Venus. Venus rules your energetic body, and whatever Venus is doing greatly impacts you. And for you, Taurus, Venus is going to be landing in your first house on March 5th. So pretty much what this means, because Venus loves being in Taurus, Venus absolutely loves it there, it means that your appearance, your physical appearance is really going to improve, okay? Especially if you are a Taurus ascendant. If you're a Taurus sun, this means that you are going to have a very magnetic beautiful personality that draws people to you. If you're a Taurus moon, this means that you are going to be feeling very loving. You're going to be feeling very good. But another thing that this brings, Taurus, is a lot of the times this also brings a lot of women who look to you for help. So you can notice that a lot of your female friends or females in your life come to you for advice or counseling, or they need your help in some way. So you might notice you become like a mini therapist for a lot of troubled women in your life. Now, what this also means is I'm just going to cut to the chase of it. Sometimes this will make us a little vain, or we want to spend money on our appearance, our looks, like cosmetics or clothes, and there's nothing wrong with that, Taurus. Honestly, you deserve it. If you want to do some self-care to improve your appearance, please, by all means, be my guest, because if you feel good about the way you look, you raise your vibes. So the first two cards I have for you, Taurus, is the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Cups for the beginning of your March 2020. So what I see for you, actually, Taurus, is March is going to be fantastic for you. The sun is going to be in your 11th house, and when the sun is in your 11th house of Pisces, this means that your friendships become very important to you, or all of a sudden it becomes very important for you to connect with friends. Or if not that, this could also mean that your friends turn into your family. This also gives you a very great public appearance, and people are really drawn to your kind and magnetic aura. So this is a very good time for personal magnetism. I keep hearing the message for you, Taurus. Honestly, I got the message of positive recognition when I was channeling, and I also got like hero and heroine and the hero fan. So a lot of you could become like spiritual leaders, or if not spiritual leaders, you could be like a source of really good counseling to a lot of people. And I see a lot of you getting recognition, Taurus, for some sort of creative ability or healing ability that you have. Okay, so when Saturn transitions into Aquarius, like it's going to be doing March 22nd, this is a huge time for everyone in the world. This is a time when we really step into our roles and what it is we're supposed to do, our life purpose. So since I started my channel like 2 years ago, this is when we were really like discovering what our talents were. This is when we were putting ourselves out there. This is when we were dealing with a lot of karma, a lot of hardships. Okay, so the last 2 years was a crash course training lesson to push you to your destiny and your life purpose. And Taurus, what I'm seeing, because Saturn's going into your 10th, and Saturn also rules your 9th house of Capricorn, this is telling me a lot of you, Taurus, you guys are meant to be some sort of leaders due to like, okay, so for instance, you're meant to be some sort of leader due to, it could either be one, your writing ability, your publishing ability, or your teaching ability. And this also means like religion and morals. So a lot of you might become leaders due to your amazing morals, due to your amazing like, oh my gosh, this Mercury retrograde, guys, due to your like high morals and standards, like your religious beliefs. So a lot of you could become religious leaders, teachers. A lot of you could just become like pillars in your society or leaders in your society due to your strong morals and beliefs. A lot of you Tauruses are meant to be leaders in some sort of way, whether that includes writing, teaching, publishing, or just being a figurehead of good morals and how people should act and showing by example. So a lot of you Taurus, with a new moon happening in Aries in your 12th house March 24th, squaring, which means making poor aspects to your north node in Cancer and your south node in Capricorn, a lot of you might have something happen to you. A lot of you might get really stirred up or riled up about a cause, about something that's going on in the world. A lot of you could feel very passionate about something that makes you angry, that you want to fix. A lot of you could feel anxious about something in the world, or a lot of you could have like something happen that really traumatizes, not traumatizes, that's a strong word, this is Mercury retrograde, that really like pushes you to finally standing up for what you believe in, whether it's like anxiety about what's happening in your world, whether it's something that makes you really like angry that you want to change. That anger or that disruption or that thing that you're passionate about that you want to fight for is leading you to what your purpose is meant to be during this amazing Saturn and Aquarius time, when we are meant to use our life purpose, destiny, and talents to change the world for the better. So I really want you Taurus to think about what it is you feel feel passionate about. And that thing is likely what you are meant to publish and be a leader in or teach or whatever. Also, I'm getting the feeling too with Saturn going into Aquarius March 22nd for everyone. This is a time where we really like to stay where we are comfortable, okay? So I really do feel like Tauruses, a lot of you right now, you feel very comfortable at a job that you're in, or a lot of you just have very limiting beliefs on what you can actually achieve in the world. And I want to let you know, Taurus, you need to let those beliefs about yourself and what you can achieve out the window. Saturn's going into Aquarius. Saturn is going into the sign where it brings great fame, recognition for making a huge impact in the world or your community. So all of those small thoughts about yourself, Taurus, really need to go, because there's no room for that with Saturn going into Aquarius March 22nd. This is the time you step into your purpose. So that's all I have for you, Taurus. I hope you have a fantastic March, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your March 2020 prediction. So what I want to tell you, Gemini, is that okay, so first of all, March is going to be a time when you are going to be socializing a lot more, because the sun is going to be entering Aries in your 11th house March 20th. And even though it's going to happen March 20th, you're really going to start to see the effects of this throughout March. And what this means, Gemini, for instance, is you could join some sort of group, whether it's like a yoga class or a painting class, or join some sort of extracurricular activity. Or if not that, I see a lot of you spending a lot more time with your friends. Friends and your network circles are going to play a big part in your life in March 2020. What I do want to tell you, Gemini, is one thing that I really channeled for you when I was doing your horoscope is I really feel like a lot of you might have some trouble transitioning into this. And the reason why that is because Saturn is going to be entering Aquarius March 22nd, and this is a huge deal. When Saturn enters Aquarius, this is the time when people who are like 20 and older, or maybe even younger, honestly, they really find their life purpose, their destiny, and what they're meant to do on this earth. And that destiny changes the world in a big way. Saturn last went into Aquarius during the 70s and the 90s, and those culturally are some of the biggest times that we remember. This is a time when people start doing things that make a huge impact on the world and change media, change governments. It causes huge revolutionary change in the world. It reinvents the standard of beauty. It reinvents culture. It reinvents governments. Okay, so this is a big time. And for you, Gemini, this is no exception. However, when Saturn first goes into Aquarius, this does cause conflicts in relationships with other people, because Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius, is all about networks and communities and friendship circles. And when Saturn goes into it, it trains us to be better with people, especially with the North Node, which is the karmic node, going into Gemini this year. So Gemini, you might notice that you do have power struggles with your partnerships, your friendship groups, or people that you want to work with, or people you're collaborating with, or people that you're socializing with. And that is because Saturn is teaching you how to successfully work a part of a group, or successfully work in part of a group, if that makes sense. This Mercury retrograde in Pisces, guys, is killing me. Like, I literally feel like my brain is swamp and I'm trying to like filter the words that come out of my mouth. But anyway, so one thing I really want you to do, Gemini, is I want you to think back on what significant thing that you did at the end of January, beginning of February. And the reason why I'm telling you to do this is because through the 4th to the 16th, Mercury is going retrograde back into Aquarius. And the last time Mercury was in Aquarius was the end of January, beginning of February. So whatever significant things happened to you during that time is going to be reawakened from the 4th of March to the 16th of March. So if you got into a relationship during this time, this might be a time where some relationship struggles take place, or relationship issues take place. However, that's not always the case. This is a general reading. I'm just giving it an example. Now, another thing you could notice is during the end of January, beginning of February, you might have had something big happen to you. You might have made important connections. You might have taken a new class. You might have traveled. You might have made significant plans during the end of January, beginning of February. Those things, whatever big things or decisions that you made during that time, is going to come back to you from the 4th to the 16th, okay? And you're going to see how this really impacted your life in a big way. So whatever that thing is at the end of January, beginning of February, I'm sorry, guys. Those things, those situations, those people are going to come back into your everyday life, or you're going to see like the impact that these people or situations had on you, if that makes sense. Now, for some Geminis, I do see that you are making plans to travel out of the country, or you're making plans to go to school or invest in higher education. Those are all things that will really be supported right now. And Gemini, I really heard the message that a lot of you are going to find beneficial contacts if you decide to go to college or explore higher education, or if you decided to travel out of the country or travel somewhere you've never been before. Now, there's also going to be a new moon in your 11th house, and I really feel like, Gemini, a lot of you, where you're going to find your wishes coming true is moving away from where you are. And not only that, I see, Gemini, that a lot of you are meant to publish. I see, Gemini, a lot of you are meant to publish something. You have some sort of like hidden talent. You have some sort of like life experience that a lot of people would love to hear about, some sort of difficult life experience, Gemini. And if you were to like publish that in poetry, music, or a book or something like that, Gemini, I see with Saturn going into Aquarius in your 9th house March 22nd, this is going to be something that if you keep working at it, that will bring you great success. Now, what I do see with Jupiter in your 8th house, Gemini, is that a lot of you might be pushed right now by the world. You might feel like your life has a lot of ups and downs. You might feel like a lot of dark things have happened to you recently. And I'm almost hearing, Gemini, that these dark things are happening to you because you're meant to write about them or publish them, or you're meant to maybe these things are happening because you're meant to find what it is you're supposed to do by traveling overseas or going to school or higher education, or like I said, by publishing about these dark things. As sick as that sounds, because they say that depression is the best inspiration, but that's why I really feel like these things are happening to you, Gemini. Now, Gemini, one thing I do specifically see about you guys is I do feel as though a lot of you could get into some conflict about your belief systems with other people. So what I do see in March that you should watch out for, Gemini, is like some disagreements about like politics or religion with your friend groups. Those are things that I really see for you. But once again, I got confirmation with the shuffling with the 4th house and the 9th house is I really do feel like a lot of you are meant to move away from where you are currently. I feel like you guys need to expand your horizons. I just sort of feel like where you are right now is not where you should be, and you're going to find your luck somewhere else, of course, if you're able to. But keep in mind, this is a general reading, so related to what resonates with you. But I really feel as though it has something to do with higher education, like I said, or moving to a different place. So that's all I have for you, Gemini. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, Cancer. So let's see what's coming for you March 2020. So one thing that I see for you, Cancer, off the bat is the beginning of March is represented by the 4 of Swords and the Knight of Swords, which really tells me, Cancer, the beginning of March, Mercury retrograde is still going to be hitting you, but it's going to be hitting you in your 8th house, which means Mercury is going to be going backwards in your 8th house. Now, this really talks about anxiety and like a lot of anxious racing thoughts, because when I look at these cards, it's like this person's having a hard time sleeping because their brain is racing with the Knight of Swords. So I do feel like anxiety or racing thoughts or worry about the future could be a very big thing for you in the beginning of March. But one thing I do also hear for you guys is I definitely feel like a friend from the past is going to reach out between the dates of the 4th and the 16th. With the 2 of Cups and 6 of Cups, I definitely see you being reunited with someone from your past, or you could receive a message from someone in your past past that you forgot about during the 4th to the 16th. Now, another thing that I see for you, Cancer, is that Saturn is going to be transitioning into your 8th house March 22nd. And this is really big for you, Cancer, because normally when this happens in Aquarius, this means that we tend to stay in relationships or partnerships or friendships just because they are comfortable, and we like comfortability as Cancers, okay? So this could be any relationship, and Saturn is really pushing you to get out of your comfort zone with relationships and start making new connections if the ones in your life aren't satisfying to you anymore, or if the people in your life are not treating you the way you deserve. So I do see, Cancer, a lot of you could be more impatient with people in March 2020 with Mars being in your 7th house, but this impatience is really trying to point out like boundaries that are being crossed for you in your friendships or in your romantic partnerships. Don't take back anyone just because like you're familiar with them. Take someone back because they treat you right. Really put up boundaries with other people, Cancer, because I'm just sort of seeing like a lot of you kind of keep old friendships, old people in your life because it's comfortable and safe. But with Saturn going into Aquarius, Cancer, this is not the time to stay where it's safe. This is the time to go out of your comfort zone and look into the future. This is a time, Cancer, where I really feel like you're meant to make new connections, new romantic connections, new friendships, if the ones in your life are crossing your boundaries and are not living up to par, and you're only keeping in your life out of comfort. Now, the positive thing, Cancer, is the sun's going to be in your 10th house of Aries March 20th, and this normally means a lot of career or financial gains. So for some of you, this can mean a tax return. For others of you, this can mean a promotion at work. But a lot of you, Cancers, are going to be succeeding towards March 20th. And finally, because we deserve a win. We've been going through the ringer recently, especially in relationships and personally and mentally, spiritually. So Cancer, I do want to let you know there's some sort of like really good financial work, career, or school advancement for you at the end of March. However, what I'm seeing with these transits, Cancer, is a lot of you could attract people who are jealous, or if not jealous, people who don't want to see you succeed. So you can notice you have a lot of jealous people around you, or even though your career is succeeding, you could have issues in your work partnerships or business partnerships, okay? But the good thing that I see, Cancer, is it's not all absolutes. With Saturn going into your 8th house of Aquarius, this really talks about partnerships that could be very, very fruitful for you. So Cancer, I do see as well in March, you could actually make very beneficial contacts with either like a romantic partner who is wealthy, for instance, or like a business partner who can really help you succeed in the world or at school. So it's not all bad, all right? Saturn in Aquarius just teaches us to filter out people who are not going to serve us in the greater good of our destiny, but it also introduces people who can lead us to our destiny. And for you, Cancer, I heard a wealthy partner. I also heard like a business partner who would like increase your income, or someone who can help you out financially or career-wise, like a really great connection. I even heard like a loan from the bank that might help you with your career. So money and career, Cancer, for you is really, really good actually. But Cancer, what I do want to tell you, like a big message I channeled for you, is now is not the time for you to have unstable people in your life. Right now, with your 7th house ruler going into your 8th house in Aquarius, this is really about attracting mature people who can help you advance in life. Not about dramatic people or people who aren't steady that you have to mom. This is about attracting someone older and more mature who's going to help you in your career and help you in your purpose and destiny. Because like I was telling the other groups, this is a time when we're really getting pushed into our destinies. When Saturn goes into Aquarius, this is a time when we're finally doing our life purpose, using our natural talents to change the world. This is a huge transit. So let's go ahead and see who this beneficial business partner could be. Okay, I'm going to draw 3 cards. It could be all 3. Keep in mind this is a general reading, or it could just be one of the cards. So just really listen with your intuition to find out which one is for you. So we have the mentor card. So this could be with someone who's older, or someone who's a teacher or teaches you the skills that you need in order to advance in your life. Now with the gray hair, this is kind of a creepy picture, I'm not going to lie, but If you look at it, it's like this old guy with this like girl in his arms. I mean, I guess it's not that creepy, but this could be someone who's significantly older or younger than you, someone with a beard, someone who is a teacher to you, someone who wants to teach you how you can achieve goals. But I'm really hearing Cancer, this is likely going to be someone older and mature who comes into your life. We also have Samaritan, so this person is also going to be very, very helpful. They are literally going to bend over backwards to help you out. This person could have darker skin or darker hair. This could be someone ruled by Venus, which means they are a Libra or a Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. And I'm going to draw one more. So remember, it could be one of these things or all three of these things. Okay, so detective. So this is going to be someone who could be detail-oriented, someone who's very focused on the details. This could also be someone who has had their eye on you for a really long time. This could also be someone who is very well read, as I can see with the book, or someone who likes to read, or someone who's very intelligent, detail-oriented, and someone who helps you develop your creativity by bringing more of the technical side to life to you. All right, Cancer, so I'm gonna draw maybe some career advice. So we have artists. So a lot of Cancers, you're meant to do some sort of art form, whether it's music, painting, or having your own business or designing. Okay, so I really feel like this is, like I said, Cancer, you're naturally creative as a water sign. I feel like this is someone who could just help you expand your creativity. We also have writing. So for some Cancers, this could be like poetry or writing a book or writing songs, writing lyrics, anything to do with expressing yourself with words on paper. And we also have study. Okay, so I do feel like Cancer, this is really a time when you're really going to get some sort of business partner who helps you advance or helps you like develop your skills. So that's all I have for you, Cancer. I hope you have a fantastic day and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, Leo, let's see what's coming for you March 2020. So one thing I definitely do see, Leo, is I do feel as though in March, with the sun going into Aries in your 9th house, and the sun rules you and your energetic body, so whatever the sun is doing greatly impacts you as a Leo. I do see, especially for ascendants, a lot of you could be very focused on school, or you could be taking some sort of trip or traveling or something like that. I definitely see either like traveling, some sort of trip, an extra focus on school, an extra focus on work perhaps. And for some Leos, I actually see as well that a lot of you could get really into religion or spirituality as well. So this is going to be a very spiritual month for you, Leo. And the reason why that is because February for you was probably not the easiest because the sun was in the 8th house. And when the sun is in the 8th house, this normally means we're dealing with tax stuff, or we're dealing with debts, or our ego goes through some great transformation or some great fall. So I really feel like February was kind of challenging for you, or at the very least, you were feeling more cynical or introverted or hopeless. Maybe some of you were distracting yourself by like sex or drugs or something like that. I'm not judging, but like I just sort of see like February was kind of a dark period for you, Leo, where a lot of changes took place. What I want to tell you is March is going to be so much better for you when the sun goes into your 9th house around the middle of the month. This is going to be a time when you have hope for the future again. This is going to be a time when you have more energy to succeed, especially at work, Leo. Like I really do want to tell you that Mars is going to be in your 6th house, and Mars is exalted in the 6th house, which means a lot of you are going to be getting work done. Okay, you're going to be feeling very productive in March. Not only that, for some Leos who have like enemies or issues with people at work, or just issues with people in your life in general, I see you actually resolving that. I see you resolving any animosity you have with people in your life. So this is actually a really good time for you, Leo. But one thing I do want to point out for you, Leo, is that Saturn is going to be entering Aquarius March 22nd in your 7th house, and this is a huge transit. This is like one of the biggest transits that's going to happen in a while, because the last time Saturn was in Aquarius, I'm sorry guys, my upstairs neighbors are like I don't know what's up with them, but they're constantly running back and forth. But the last time Saturn was in Aquarius was the 70s and the 90s, and those were huge times when governments went through huge reform, culture changed, media changed, the standard of beauty changed. This is a time when people are really stepping into their purpose on earth. Okay, this is huge, and I really feel like, Leo, for you, this is about I really do feel like, Leo, a lot of you can meet somebody who helps you with your career in a very big way, or a lot of you, kind of like the Cancers, could enter some sort of beneficial partnership or like beneficial relationship that really helps you at work or with your purpose and your life destiny. So for some of you Leos, this could mean that you finally meet like your soulmate romantically who shares the same drive as you, or for other Leos, this could just mean a very beneficial partnership or success in business. Now, one thing I do see for you, Leo, is for some Leos, I really feel like somebody you meet could actually push you to travel more. With Saturn going into Aquarius, this normally means like, you know, people want to explore the world more, they want to travel more, they want to go experience other cultures and see what else is out there. And I really feel like a lot of you Leos could meet someone who is from a different culture or wants to travel with you or take you out of your comfort zone in regards to traveling outside of the country. So that's a very big blessing that I see. But right now I have the North Node. That's what I'm basing it off of. So I'm just going to go ahead and get more clarifiers for what Leos can expect March 2020. Oh my gosh, we have North Node in the 12th house, and I swear I didn't handpick this, and you actually have that transit right now. So I really do believe the 12th house is about spirituality, it's about religion, it's also about overseas travel. So I do feel like a lot of you are going to do some sort of profound trip. You guys could plan some profound trip out of the country, or you could get really into spirituality, because one of the words I channeled for you, Leo, is the word priest. So I really do feel like a lot of you are going to have like some sort of spiritual teacher enter your life, or you could be a spiritual teacher to someone else who really broadens your perspective. And I feel like a lot of you could meet this person at work or through work, or you can meet them through social media is another thing I got, or you could also, they could also be someone who travels to you or you travel to them. Something long distance is what I'm seeing. So we also have the Trine card, and this is a very good card. So let's see what it is trining. And we have the Ascendant. So actually, Leo, a very big message I got for you is I actually feel like a lot of you could be teachers to other people. I'm also hearing a lot of you Leos, I heard the message just now that you could be healers. Okay, so like you know how I was saying when Saturn enters Aquarius, this is when we really step into our life purpose here on earth, and this is a time when our work really makes a huge difference in the world, okay, like big changes. I heard for a lot of Leos, this could be teaching, this could be with healing, like any sort of healing profession. I also heard as well, a lot of you could, I heard a lot of you could want to work in like some sort of service that helps underprivileged people. I hear that a lot of you might want to work in a service that includes underprivileged people, anything that includes spirituality, counseling, healing, being a doctor, maybe animals as well is another thing I heard for Leos. And I also heard teaching very loud and clear too. You could also be advisors to other people as well, Leo. That's another big thing that I hear. And we also have author. And when I look at the author card, it reminds me of like writing a book or teaching. So we have yoga and author. I'm just trying to get more ideas of what it could be, but I really do believe it has something to do with a healing profession, a spiritual profession, or a profession that includes publishing, counseling, healing, spirituality. We also have crystals. So for some Leos, I also see like some sort of jewelry business as well. Remember, it could be any one of these things because it is a general reading. But Leo, I'm going to do what I did for the Cancers and try to see what beneficial partnerships are going to come your way. This is a general reading, so I want you to just, it could be one of the cards or all three of the cards. I'm going to do three because a lot of people are watching this. So just pick the one that resonates most with your intuition. So we have teacher, which, like I was saying, I feel like it picked up on what you were meant to do, but this could also be someone too who is a teacher to you as well, or one of their professions could be a teacher. I also got this person could be someone who helps underprivileged people or works for a non-profit organization. So this could be a civil servant, such as a teacher or a social worker. We also have poet. So this person could be very, very artistic as well, or someone who writes, or someone who is very like flowery with their words. Okay. So another thing I saw is this person could either have blonde hair, blue eyes, or they could be someone with darker skin tone and darker hair. Remember, just pick one that resonates with your situation. We also have the father card. So for a lot of Leos, I do see you getting closer to your father as well in March 2020. I definitely see that actually. So that's another thing you can look out for too. Some of you might have went through some sort of issues with your father in the past month, but I see that getting healed. So that's all I have for you, Leo. I hope you have a fantastic March. If you want a more in-depth analysis of what you can expect week by week, be sure to watch out for my weekly horoscopes. Bye. All right, Virgo, so let's see what is coming for you March 2020. So one thing I really channeled for you, Virgo, is I got the Five of Swords and the Five of Cups, which talks about some sort of issues in your relationships. So the beginning of March, Virgo, I do see that there is going to be some sort of conflict in your everyday life, specifically March 4th to the 16th when Mercury goes retrograde in your 6th house. I really feel, Virgo, you might have noticed there was some sort of tower moment that happened to you at the end of January, beginning of February. I want you to remember what that was. There could be a reoccurrence of that from the 4th to the 16th. And because you're a Virgo, what Mercury does really impacts you in your life. And it is going retrograde in your 6th house of enemies and conflicts and disputes. So around that time, I really do see a lot of you could go through some sort of emotional loss or issues with your relationships. Now, one thing that I did see for you is I channeled the moon and also the Queen of Wands. So this could literally be a Cancer or a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. But I specifically heard this could be with a woman in your life, okay? I specifically heard a woman in your life could cause you some issues. Or if you are a Virgo who identifies as female, I kind of see you wanting to end a relationship in your life and you wanting freedom away from the relationship. So Virgo, I also think this is being caused because you're going to have a new moon in the 8th house of Aries, March 24th. And this is normally signifying when you are going to go through some sort of great transformation that builds up your strength. And no one likes hearing that, okay? Like, I know it sucks, but this is because Saturn is going into Aquarius. And like I was telling the other signs, this is huge because this is when people really step into their destinies. This is when people start using their talents and natural abilities to make a huge difference in the world with their life purpose. This is what we have been trained for the last 5 years, okay? And for you, Virgo, what I'm really seeing with Saturn going into your 6th house, ruling your 5th, it's time for you to start expressing your creativity, Virgo. I see that it's time for you to start being creative in your everyday life, and that is what's going to bring you success. That is what's going to bring you wealth. With the energy of Saturn going into Aquarius in the 6th house, this talks about earning great wealth, but at the same time doing something and earning wealth by doing something you really believe in. And Virgos, for you, I truly believe it has something to do with your creativity. And let me specify, I really feel like your creativity is meant to do something for the betterment of society and other people. So not just creativity like an 80s hair metal band where you want to express yourself and F other people. With the Saturn going into Aquarius, this means you need to be using your creativity, your natural creativity, to make the world a better place. Whether it's like making art that makes people realize about big picture issues, or whether it's, you know, painting something that makes people really think about what's going on in the world, or writing relatable lyrics that people can understand. The trick about this, Virgo, is doing art that really helps other people in a beneficial way and isn't just like, you know, you want to show off your art and your expression. It has to have a higher purpose and a higher meaning to it. I do see, Virgo, you more than anyone are being pushed into doing your career, okay, because the North Node is going to be in your 10th house of Gemini in just a few short months, and the North Node pushes us into that. So I really feel like, Virgo, anything that happens is really meant for you to be pushed into your truest calling in your career path. And I do feel like, Virgo, for a lot of you, this could mean that your wishes for the future really do change. This could mean that, you know, there are some friendships or relationships that exit your life, and that's because you're being pushed to make a huge difference in the world right now with your business or your art or your creativity. And I want to tell you that Virgo risings during the age of Saturn and Aquarius in the 70s and the 90s, they were the most influential people with their art. For instance, Kurt Cobain, I know I always reference him, but I just love him. Virgo, he was a Virgo rising during Saturn and Aquarius. His art changed the world, and that's what your art is meant to do. And you are meant to find people who are going to help you do that with Virgo in conjunction. And anyone who is not going to help you achieve those goals or has the same ideas for the future as you really needs to go. I also feel like, Virgo, a lot of you are meant to work in some sort of group, or you're meant to work with a lot of people. I don't feel like you're meant to do this alone, Virgo. I really do feel like a lot of you are meant to use your creativity with someone else or a group of people or an organization. Did I say Leo? I mean Virgo. I really do feel that about you, whether it's a band or a company. Just like, I really feel like you need to be around a large group of people who are going to help you expand your creativity and do this project. Because we have Virgo conjunction the moon, okay? And Virgo is you, and conjunct is like a partnership, and it's with the moon, which rules your 11th house of network circles. So I really feel like, Virgo, a lot of you, you're going to find your wealth, your happiness when you're working with other people, a business partner or a group of people doing your creative skill. And, you know, as a Virgo, you guys are some of the, especially Virgo risings, you are naturally some of the most creative people. You're the musicians, you are the painters, you are the people who have bomb creative expression. But I really feel like you do need a group of people to really bring that out of you. I also feel like, Virgo, I heard the message that you are going to attract a lot of spiritual people in your life in March 2020, with the sun being in your 7th house of Pisces until March 20th, I believe. So I really do believe a lot of you are going to attract like spiritual partners or partners who are from a different culture, country, or background. Now, for some select Virgos, I also hear you could be traveling with somebody. You could be traveling with a romantic partner a lot in March, or you can meet someone while you're traveling, while at school, while at church. Or like I said, they could be someone who's spiritual or from a different country. Now, another thing I see with the mother card is I do believe there's going to be an emphasis on your mother in March 2020. Let's see what about, though. We have honesty. We have love. I feel like you guys are really going to bond with a woman in your life, Virgo, in March 2020, whether it's a mother figure or a female in your life, maybe in your family. Let's see what else we have. We have party, celebrate yourself. So for some Virgos, I really do feel like there could be a reunion with your mother, or like some sort of there could be some sort of reunion with a woman in your life. But yeah, I really do feel like a lot of you are going to have a good month despite everything that's going on, to be honest with you. I do think so, Virgo. I really do. I just think right now you're being pushed into fulfilling your life purpose, all right? And I also feel like you're being pushed on mending any relationships that are strained right now, forgiving the people in your life, because we also have destroyer. So I definitely feel like there's going to be some sort of huge change, okay? A volcanic eruption change that pushes you into becoming closer with your mother, or pushes you into fulfilling your destiny, or finding your friend group, or finding that organization that I was talking about. We also have tricksters. So for some Virgos, I do want to tell you, I do believe, like I was saying in the beginning of the reading, there could be some woman in your life who is deceptive, or some woman in your life who kind of causes havoc, but I think I already said that. So that's all I have for you, Virgo. If you want a more in-depth analysis of your month, be sure to check out my weekly horoscopes coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye. All right, Libra, so let's see what's coming for you March 2020. So when I look at your horoscope, I always look at Venus, because you are ruled by Venus. So whatever Venus is doing greatly impacts you, and Venus is going to be in Taurus in your 8th house starting March 5th. So Taurus, Libra, this is like some kind of relationship drama going on. So one, this could mean a secret romance, secret romantic affairs. This could mean huge changes in your relationships. This could mean, a lot of different things, but Venus in the 8th house for you really just causes a lot of relationship intensity. So it could be like a good thing. You could have like a secret love, or your relationship could be very passionate yet very dramatic. This could also mean as well, like a lot of you could just decide, let's say you're in a stable relationship, this could just mean that you want a lot of private time, if you know what I mean, alone with your partner. Now I'm also seeing too, Libra, this is all about relationships for you. I really see that a lot of you with Venus in the 8th house, you could actually greatly benefit from some sort of woman in your life, or somebody in your life, because Venus in the 8th house also represents gains. So this can mean like some sort of financial gain, or some sort of gain from a relationship in your life. This could even mean like a loan from the bank. It just pretty much means that you gain from somebody else's money, or this could also mean that you invest in something that's really expensive that might benefit your future, such as a car or a home or something like that. So if you're not receiving money from other people, you're investing your money into something that's very valuable. I do want to tell you, Libra, the sun is going to be in Aries in your 7th house, which means the people that you are probably going to attract are going to be very extroverted people. One thing I really drew for you is the Magician and the Queen of Wands. So Libra, you might notice you attract a lot of Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising in your everyday life. These could be people who have a lot of fiery characteristics, who are very outgoing, very feisty, maybe a little bossy. This could be someone who is very confident. This could also be someone who wants all of your attention and is very in your face, and just in general, like a fiery person, because this is a general horoscope. If it's not relationship drama or like a secret relationship, I do see you secretly having some sort of secret relationship with a fire sign, whether it's a partnership, whether it's a beneficial partnership or friendship. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, those are all things that I see coming for you March 2020, but there's definitely going to be an emphasis on some fiery female or partner in your life March 2020. And I also feel like as well, some of you Libra could have multiple options in love. I do see that as well, or there could be some sort of love triangle going on, or you could just sort of escape from everyday reality with this person, whether it's a friendship or a relationship. That's what I see for you, Libra. Now, I do want to tell you, Libra, that Mars is going to be in your 4th house. And Mars does not like being in your 4th house in March. So I do see that there could be some conflicts at home, or with your mom, or just with your roommates, or some sort of conflict at home, in your home life, your family life. So definitely watch out for that. But I do see, or there could be some sort of change in your home that's kind of disruptive. Maybe because of this female coming into your life, or because of this friend in your life. But I just see sort of, Libra, that This is going to be a time where you attract some fiery people who are definitely not boring whatsoever. There's also going to be a new moon in your 7th house of partnerships, Libra, in Aries. So what this means is I definitely see some sort of new romantic partnership happening, especially with Saturn transitioning into Aquarius in your 5th house, March 22nd. I definitely see there's going to be a lot of fun trips, romance, dating, maybe multiple options, passionate yet dramatic love affairs that cause disruptions in your home or cause you to change your home in some way. That's like a very big thing. I know that's really specific, but that's like something I really heard. So this is definitely going to be someone who takes you away from reality, whether it's a friendship or a romance. And I'm also hearing as well, Libra, that someone has a secret crush on you with the moon and the 8 of Wands. If not that, I definitely feel like someone has a secret crush on you. So we have, let's see if we can, okay, so we have healer. So this person could be in the healing field. They could be a doctor, a nurse, a counselor, or a Reiki therapist. This could be someone who is very, very healing to you. Let's see what else. We also have hermit. So this person could be very introverted. They could be a life path 9. I'm hearing the sign of Virgo. I'm hearing the sign of Cancer. And we also have angel. So this person who has a secret crush on you could be someone who's really introverted, who's very kind-hearted, someone who is very shy. That might be why they're hiding their feelings from you. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, but I did hear that for some Libras. Like I really do see someone kind-hearted, introverted, someone who's a healer, someone who might be an empath who has a crush on you and is too afraid to approach you. I also heard the message, Libra, that this could actually be you. I see that you might be someone who's rather introverted. You can be a pushover. You might be empathetic. You might want to help other people out. You might be feeling very charitable and want to help the needy. You might be someone who is kind of has a lack of boundaries with others but is very kind. And I'm hearing that this person coming into your life, this fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, could help bring out your confidence and help build you up and kind of help you build up those boundaries for yourself. So that's all I have for you, Libra. I hope you have a fantastic day and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, Scorpio, let's see what is coming for you March 2020. Okay, so we have the sun in Pisces in your 5th house, Scorpio, which tells me that a lot of your March, especially the beginning, is going to be filled up with either fun trips, romance, partying, socializing, doing fun things, creativity, things that you feel like a child doing. Or if not that, if you're Scorpio, I really feel like a lot of your focus is going to be on your kids. But the thing that I see, Scorpio, is I feel like a lot of you have a hard time having fun or getting lost in romance or getting lost in having fun like you should be doing right now with this transit, because your mind is in the 4th house of Aquarius, which means your family gives you a lot of anxiety. Your home situation gives you a lot of anxiety. Your mind is constantly on the past, your home, your family. So even though your focus should be on the 5th house matters of fun and romance and of children and connecting with your inner child and doing things for fun, you're so worried about your family and your home situation or like past mistakes or guilt from the past that you're not able to be in the moment. And that's something I really see for you, especially with Saturn transitioning into Aquarius for you March 22nd, Scorpio. This is going to be a challenging transit because it's going to make you feel very stressed out by your home situation and also by your family relationships. That's all going to be very troublesome for you. But what I do see, Scorpio, is a lot of you are being called right now to strengthen your family relationships. And that's why you feel so worried about them right now. That's why there might be some sort of strain. Or if not that, a lot of you are being called to move homes, okay? Because this is a general reading. But I do see with Saturn going into Aquarius in your 4th house, Scorpio, it's either you're being called by Saturn to move your homes if you feel like like where you are living is not a sanctuary, or if your family relationships are distant and strained, I see that Saturn's really going to make you focus on making those better for you. And I really feel like one of the great ways you can help with that is through physical exercise. And I do see a lot of Scorpios, you have been going through some sort of physical exercise, or if not that, life has been a battle recently. Specifically, maybe with siblings, I do see that, because when Mars is in the third house, it can cause issues with siblings, or you might be feeling stir crazy, like you're ready to move. I just sort of see too, with Venus being in your 6th house of Aries the past month, like maybe end of February, beginning of March, a lot of you felt like relationships with women were very strained, especially like you might feel like your work partnerships, or if you're in a relationship, you might feel like all of that has been strained, especially issues with women. Because I did also channel the Queen of Swords for you. So Scorpio, either you've been scorned in love, or you're dealing with some sort of difficult woman in your life currently. And I really feel for you. I'm really sorry to hear that. But you know what? Everything is going to be good for you, Scorpio, because the sun is going to be in your 6th house of Aries March 24th, which is going to make you very productive. And not only that, physically active. So if you want to get your body in check, this is the time to do it. Mars in the 3rd house, you're going to be feeling super motivated. And I really do feel like a lot of you are being called right now to conquer your fears. I feel like, especially with Saturn going into Aquarius in your 4th house, a lot of you just have a lot of anxiety. That's a big thing that I heard. A lot of you have a lot of anxiety, and I feel like that anxiety is stopping you from getting out of your comfort zone in your relationships with your family members and also where you live. But I really feel like Saturn in Aquarius is going to trigger some sort of move for you, or it's going to trigger some sort of home business or business that requires real estate or something like that, or it's going to push you into buying a home, or maybe even like getting closer with your family. I do feel like, Scorpio, like recently your wishes for the future have really changed, and I feel like the reason why you're getting this boost in confidence and energy with, you know, Mars in the 3rd house, Sun in the 6th house, is because you're really meant to go and find what it is you are meant to do. I sense, Scorpio, a lot of you feel very directionless in life right now. I see you feel directionless, and you're too scared to get out of your comfort zone to really like stand up for yourself, 1, and 2, to go find what it is that makes you happy. Because there's a full moon in Virgo in your 11th house and a new moon in Aries in your 6th house, which means it's the time for you to start fighting for you, fighting for your body, fighting for your health, going out and finding what it is you want to do on an everyday basis. That's why you're being given this confidence in March, because you're meant to try out a bunch of different things. Even if some of them fail, one of those things is bound to work out and is bound to be the thing for you. It's okay that you feel confused right now, but don't let fear stop you from pursuing what could be your life purpose and destiny, because for you, Scorpio, this is all an internal mind thing, and I really see that for you. But right now, I feel like the biggest thing you need to do is work on your environment, your home. Make sure your home is a sanctuary, because your environment dictates your whole life. If your environment isn't good, if your home isn't good, then guess what? Your life goes to SHIT pretty much. So I really feel like, you know, use all of this extra energy you have to work on your health, to mend your home life, to make plans for the future, and explore a bunch of different things that sound fun and exciting to you, regardless of whether or not you're scared it's going to fail or it's out of your comfort zone. Be brave, Scorpio. That's a very big message I heard for you, is to be brave. Even if, like with Jupiter in the 3rd house, some of your ideas fail, or you feel like you failed so many times, be brave and keep pursuing your passion, and you're eventually going to find the right thing. But with the North Node in Gemini moving into your 8th house, Scorpio, I really feel like March is going to be the catalyst for a lot of contracts. I see a lot of you guys signing a rental lease or buying a home. I see a lot of you could get some sort of maybe like a family member could help you out in some way. I also see that with a North Node in Gemini in your 8th house transitioning this year, that this is about facing your fears and getting a hold on your anxiety and your fear, your mental fear, okay? So anything that you push past that you're scared of is going to be rewarded to you. That's the good thing of it, because in life you don't gain unless you gamble a little. In life you don't gain unless you put yourself in uncomfortable situations. And for you, it's overcoming anxiety and fear, because once you do that, once you like try things for the fun of it rather than letting your anxiety of failure or past mistakes get to you, you're going to find your destiny and you are going to find the right thing. And specifically, I see even finding like a permanent home of residence and improving your family situations. Okay, so Scorpio, due to my neighbors, that is all for today's horoscope. But if you want to check out your weekly horoscopes where I go way more in detail, be sure to keep an eye out for that. I'll see you later, Scorpios. Love you. Bye. All right, Sagittarius, let's see what's coming for you March 2020. So one thing I specifically heard for you is your angels, or whatever you believe in, your higher self, God, is showing you where you need to leave by giving you a feeling of a lack of fulfillment. Sagittarius, I really feel like a lot of you do not feel fulfilled in a very big area of your life, whether it's in your relationship or with your job. You feel like there's something better and you are bored, Sagittarius. There is a lack of fulfillment in your life. And your spirit guides, whatever, they want to tell you that you are feeling this lack of fulfillment because that person, that thing, that situation, or that job, whatever it is you're feeling a lack of fulfillment in, is not for you anymore. It's something that does not allow you to have fun. It's something that stifles your self-expression, whether it's a person or a situation. It is something that does not allow you to be carefree, lighthearted, and also it's boring. And as a Sagittarius, you don't like to be bored. So I know you are feeling a lack of fulfillment right now. Nothing seems to fulfill you. And another message I heard for you, Sagittarius, is it doesn't matter where you move or where you are if you don't fix like the big thing that's giving you a lack of fulfillment. Nothing is going to change. Okay, like moving every 2 days isn't going to help. Running away or doing the quick fix of running away from things or back to things isn't going to work. You need a new solution. That's what I heard for you, Sagittarius. So you have the full moon in Virgo in your 10th house, Sagittarius. And then you have the new moon in Aries in your 5th house, which is telling me that whatever it is you do during the day is boring, uninspiring, and you feel like you are giving way more energy, whether it's a person or a situation, than what you get back. And the new moon in Aries in your 5th house, March 24th, is trying to get you to explore your creativity and explore things that do give you passion and excitement. Wow. Okay, Sagittarius, I have 2 Two of Pentacles cards, which is telling me right now you feel very confused about what direction you want to take your life, as I see with the Chariot. I see that you feel very confused about where the future is going, and you don't know where you see yourself in the future. You're stuck in this limbo of confusion. But I definitely see with the Emperor and the 7 of Swords, you need to walk away from some structure or controlling person in your life, because this person is really holding you back. You need to let go of what is comfortable. You need to let go of this conservative, controlling person or situation in your life so you can get out of this limbo state and go find what it is that will really bring you passion. So some things that I heard for you, Sagittarius, that I really feel like you're being pushed to doing when Saturn goes into Aquarius in your 3rd house, which is a huge transit. This is a time when people get pushed into their life purpose and their destiny by using their natural skills and talents. And we're at the calm before the storm. So every everyone feels confused about what direction they should take their life, Sagittarius. But for you, with Saturn entering the 3rd house of Aquarius, I feel like it has something to do with media or expressing yourself with your voice, whether it is singing, media, talking, such as public speaking or teaching. This could also mean as well, like your own business. That's another thing I heard. But I'm going to use these life purpose cards to help you guys get clarity, because I know right now you have a lack of clarity in your career or a lack of clarity of where you want your future to go. I also heard the message, Sagittarius, if you have siblings, this is really going to become a huge part of your life starting March 2020. If you have any siblings, your relationships with your siblings are going to be a huge deal for you for the next few years starting March 2020. Now, I also see with Venus going into your 6th house of Taurus, Sagittarius, that normally this causes some conflict with women at work, or this could also mean as well like relationships in general are very troubling for you, specifically with women. But if not that, this could also mean like you run into a lot of troubled women, or a lot of women who have issues come to you for healing or something of that nature. Like Venus in the 6th house doesn't like being there because it's like, first of all, it makes you super critical of yourself, your appearance, and your beauty. Not only that, it makes you critical of anything you do creatively or expression-wise. Not only that, it causes like disputes with your relationships at work, or you attract a lot of troubled women into your life. So Sagittarius, honestly, that's not the best thing to hear, but I do want to give you a heads up about that. And also, you know, when you are expressing yourself creatively, don't be scared of failure, okay? Like, don't be so critical on everything that you do with Venus in the 6th house that you just stay where it's comfortable, where you're bored. Life is going to be boring unless you do something to shake things up responsibly. And you want that excitement, so you have to go find it and release things that are controlling and holding you back. But with the career change, I really sense, Sagittarius, a lot of you are going to go through some sort of major career change. And I just feel like you're being pushed to do something creative, because Saturn's going into Aquarius, and this is a time when we are pushed into doing our life purpose, and the things that we create and do during this time impact the world in a big way. So that's why you're being pushed into some sort of career change or life change. It's because you need to start using your creative expression or working with children to change the world. And I know I sound very dramatic, but Saturn in Aquarius is that dramatic, because Saturn in Aquarius causes us to do things that will not only make us a lot of money, but also change the world in a bigger, more positive way. I can't stress enough how important of a time this is right now. You need to get over your fears of security, your fear of performance anxiety, and just follow your creativity and your passion, because the reason why you feel passion or pull towards that thing is because it's likely what's going to help change the world with Saturn going into Aquarius. And if you haven't found what that is yet, it's likely because you have not let yourself have fun and express your inner child, where you just try things for fun, and you need to go do that and just let loose, have fun, explore a bunch of different things, and see what makes you tick, see what makes you happy. So that's all I have for you, Sagittarius. I'll see you later. Bye. Hi Capricorn, welcome to your March 2020 horoscope prediction. So immediately, Capricorn, what really stood out to me in your chart is I do see you're having issues with your home life or your family life right now. Those are all big things that are being highlighted, especially in March. And the reason why that is, Capricorn, is because Mars is in your 1st house, okay, and Mars rules your 4th house of home and family. And then in March, we have a new moon in Aries, March 24th, and that's in your 4th house. So that means a new beginning in your home, or a battle at home, or a battle with your family. So Capricorns, I do see you are struggling with your home life right now, or your family life, your living situation, or maybe just in general, you might be feeling very angry, or more angrier than normal. That's another thing I see. Now, Capricorn, there are some messages that I did channel for you, interestingly enough. So Saturn is going to be going into Aquarius in your 2nd house March 22nd for you. And I really feel like, Capricorn, this is a time when it's not the time to focus on relationships. This is a time for you to focus on making your money, making your mark in the world. This is the time for you to focus on relationships that could possibly build your wealth. And I don't mean to sound like in a user way, okay, Capricorn? I just sort of mean when Saturn goes into Aquarius, this is really about finding relationships that are beneficial, that can help us lead us to our destiny and our highest purpose on earth. And for you, with Saturn going into your second house of Aquarius in March, this is about no longer focusing on dramatic relationships, no longer focusing on relationships that are chaotic, but instead finding relationships with people who can help build your future, possibly your finances, and also, if you can find that, focusing on your finances as opposed to relationships or love or anything like that. And I do see that for you, Capricorn, because we have the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Swords, which means right now is not the time for love for you, Capricorn. In fact, love might not be very great for you or non-existent for you. And that's because you're really being pushed into working on your finances, building up your finances. Please disregard that, Capricorn, if you're in a loving relationship. If not, I just see your relationships getting strengthened. But right now, with the North Node going into Gemini in your 6th house this year, I really feel like now is the time for you to focus on your job, on your finances, on your career, and love is just going to bring you a headache unless you're already in a relationship with someone who does help you with those things, or with someone who's very stable, secure, mature, and financially responsible. That's what I see for you, Capricorn. And once again, I just see like there's some sort of disrest in your home right now. And you know what I also saw as well with the Empress and the Knight of Wands, Capricorn, if you are a woman, you could be feeling very angry right now. But if you are a man or identify as a man, I just sort of feel like you might be very angry at a woman right now. I just sort of see a lot of disagreements with home, family, mother, and women currently. However, the good thing that I see for you, Capricorn, is a lot of you right now, I feel like you have the ability to heal people with your words. I feel like a lot of you have the ability to motivate people to do better for themselves. So one thing I see for you, Capricorn, is even if you don't have your SHIT together, you'll make sure other people have their SHIT together and motivate them, because you know what it's like to feel out of control or not secure in life is what I'm seeing. So I'm seeing, Capricorn, recently you guys have been giving great advice to other people. You've been really like expressing yourself and sharing yourself with other people, motivating other people. But you know, you need to just focus on yourself, because we have the new moon in Aries and a full moon in Virgo. So it's no longer the time for you to be the teacher. It's no longer the time for you to cater to everyone else's needs and to teach other people. It's the time for you to fight for yourself, to fight for your home, and to also find inner strength. And I also feel like as well, Capricorn, a lot of how you make money recently does not align with your new belief systems or the new person you have transformed into. Because what I'm seeing, Capricorn, is with Jupiter being in your 1st house, a lot of you have just completely transformed as people. I'm seeing that a lot of you are like very spiritual now. You're into conspiracies, you're into different things that you never have been into before. You're like a new person, and the way that you make money does not really align with that, is what I'm hearing. And I'm seeing that you're meant to find like a new job that aligns with your new value systems 100%. And I feel like for a lot of you, this does include teaching or children, but it's more than that, because you have Venus in your 10th and 5th house ruling those houses, and that's about creative self-expression. So if it's not teaching, if it's not something to do with like children's books or children's things, like for people 21 and under, I really do feel like it has a lot to do with creativity or media or having your own business. Let's see, we have the Trickster card. Okay guys, so Capricorn, we have Trickster and Shapeshifter. So I don't know who in your life is being dishonest right now. It could be you, I don't know, but I'm just sort of sensing this energy of someone in your life who is very dishonest, or maybe you are being dishonest with other people. Maybe you have like this ulterior motive with other people, or maybe someone has an ulterior motive with you. I'm just sort of sensing, Capricorn, you're not seeing someone for who they truly are. I feel like, Capricorn, a lot of you guys might easily trust someone who's loud and extroverted, or someone who's very confident. But I feel like the truest people don't have to try so hard to prove to you that they're good people. Do you know what I mean? So I just feel like there's someone who's not showing their true colors with you. Maybe there's someone who's really sweet, but they're acting like they are a badass to impress you. Or maybe there's someone who's honestly a player, but they're acting very sweet in order to get you. Or maybe you are doing that to someone else. I don't know, but there's definitely someone who's playing some tricks on you, whether it's romantic or friendship, and they're not being very sincere and honest. We also have Prince. So I do feel like this could be a romantic thing. I definitely feel like it could be, because you do have Venus going into your 5th house of love and romance. So I know a lot of your month in March 2020 is going to deal with your children, if you have children, or some sort of romance, creativity, self-expression, fun. And I just feel like right now you could be attracting a lot of romantic partners who maybe don't have the best intentions. Or if you're in a relationship, I don't know, maybe if you're in a relationship already, your partner really surprised you recently because they're starting to really transform as people, and you kind of like the change. I don't know, guys, like I'm trying to make this as general as possible. I know that's real general, but that's sort of what I'm seeing for you. And we also have networker. So for some of you, what I'm also seeing with Sun being in your 3rd house, Capricorn, a lot of you have been talking or reaching out on social media a lot more than you normally would. This is probably going to last until March 20th. I definitely see that. Or you can meet a new friend on social media, or you can notice you're on social media more, talking a lot more than you normally would. I just see that you are going to be feeling a lot more extroverted, and also a lot more confident as well, guys. I do see a boost in confidence for you in March 2020, because when the Sun is in the 3rd house, there is a lot of confidence going on, but I definitely see a change in home. Okay, with Poet, for a lot of Capricorns, I feel like you are meant to do something with creative expression, whether it is media, whether it is modeling, whether it is singing, whether it is acting. I definitely feel like a lot of Capricorns, it's something to do with using your voice, kind of like the Sagittarius is, because you're close on the wheel, or like something to do with using your creative skills and talents. Oh, maybe for some Capricorn, a lot of you could be sweet talking, or learn how to be more charismatic with other people to make connections. I don't know, but I definitely see that. I see there's a lot of looking up psychology tricks on how to charm others. I'm sensing, learning how to be more charismatic with other people. Maybe there's also some confusion with your love life going on, but I definitely see you guys have the gift of gab and charisma March 2020 with these transits, 100%, especially with singing or talking or creative expression. And this is especially if you're an ascendant Capricorn with your life purpose. So that's all I have for you, Capricorn. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hi Aquarius, welcome to your March 2020 horoscope. Aquarius, what can I say? Sun, moon, and rising. So if you have your sun in Aquarius, moon in Aquarius, ascendant in Aquarius, this is going to be a big month for you because Saturn is moving into your sign of Aquarius. And depending on if you're an ascendant Aquarius, sun Aquarius, or moon Aquarius, Saturn is going to be over one of those planets. And generally this means means you might have an inclination to become a little depressed, or if not depressed, this means that you might feel like you work really, really hard, but you're not seeing any reward for your effort. Those are all things that I'm really seeing for you, Aquarius, but it's not all that bad. So if you are an Aquarius sun, moon, and rising, what you need to realize is during this time, you are going to gain success. You are going to find your life purpose when you are being yourself. That's really all you need to do. When Saturn goes into Aquarius, this is a really big time because, like I was telling the other signs, this is when we really find our life purpose and change the world with our life purpose. And for you as an Aquarius, part of your life purpose just includes being yourself and expressing yourself authentically, especially if you're an Aquarius ascendant, because the last time Saturn went into Aquarius, this is around the time that the greats were born. Janis Joplin, Joan Jett were Aquarius ascendants, and when Saturn went into Aquarius during that time, they were really learning how to express themselves as individuals away from the crowd or the mainstream, and that's what you are being pushed to do, Aquarius, by learning how to be an individual and not care what anyone thinks, because you are going to get success in your life during these transits, during these times, simply by being yourself. Now, if you're an Aquarius ascendant, one thing I do see that is a possibility for some of you is being a spiritual teacher, but not necessarily by being a preacher, but literally just by showing by example and being yourself. That is how you will lead people to a spiritual path. And that's what I really saw for you. And I'm also seeing as well, Aquarius, that March 2020, and by the way, guys, if you hear things in the background, I'm so sorry. My upstairs neighbors are mad at me, I guess. So every time I go to record, they turn on the TV really loud. So I'm sorry. But okay, so one thing that I'm seeing for you, Aquarius, is that one thing March is going to really do for you is it's going to give you the opportunity to practice, develop, and fine-tune your skills. Because I'm seeing, Aquarius, in March, a lot of who you really are has started to come out. You're starting to see your natural talent. You're starting to see and express who you are authentically, right? And I feel like with that, sometimes we need to practice. That's why the sun is going to be in your second house. This means it's time to focus on polishing up your creative talents or your interests or your hobbies, or maybe changing your appearance in a way that suits the new person that you've become. Those are all things that are going to be really good for you. Now, one thing that I do want to tell you, Aquarius, is that even though people might not appreciate what you're doing now, even though it might seem like you're putting in a lot of work with no reward, just because it looks like that now doesn't mean it's going to be like that forever whatsoever. Saturn transitioning into Aquarius March 22nd might be difficult at first, but the longer Saturn is there, the more rewards you will see. And honestly, if you're a fast learner, Saturn shouldn't hurt you at all, because I feel like Aquarius is, a lot of you are already on the right track, but right now this is about becoming disciplined with yourself. Become disciplined in your daily habits, become disciplined in your routine, become disciplined in practicing your skills and your talents. That's what March is really going to push you to do, is learning how to be disciplined with yourself and developing those talents and fine-tuning them. That's what Saturn over Moon and Sun and Ascendant does. It causes you to become more disciplined with your routine and your practice schedules and studying and all that stuff. So that's what you're really going to notice, Aquarius. I also feel as well, Aquarius, around March 5th, at the beginning of the month, there is going to be some sort of like reunion with your family or your home or your childhood or your past. Some of you could be traveling to your childhood home, or some of you could be reunited with your family, or your family could travel to you, or you could travel to your family. With Venus in the 4th house of Taurus, Aquarius, the beginning of March, definitely expect some sort of blessing in regards to your family and in regards to your home life. If you want a more in-depth horoscope of the month ahead, I am going to be doing weekly horoscopes, so be sure to check those out, where I'm going to get so much more in depth day by day. So sorry I had to cut this short, but Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye. Hi Pisces, welcome to your March 2020 horoscope prediction. Now, I do want to tell you guys, I might have to cut it short tonight because my upstairs neighbors are very loud. But if you want an in-depth horoscope analysis of what you can expect, I am coming out with weekly horoscopes that are going to be very specific, very detailed by the day. So I'm just going to give you guys a general overview real quick. So the first thing that I'm seeing for you Pisces is I do see that there's a lot of confusion in regards to your home, and there's also a lot of confusion in regards to your relationships. So pretty much this could start right from the beginning of March. You might notice you have a lot of anxiety and confusion about your home situation or your relationships in your life, or maybe even your home relationships or your family relationships. I see that a lot of you right now are being called, or you might have like this plan for the future where you really want to live overseas or travel overseas or kind of relocate yourself into a place you've never lived before. That could be across the country or in another country. I do see that for you Pisces, and that's because Saturn is going to be transitioning into Aquarius in your 12th house March 22nd, and that is something that would be very blessed for you if you wanted to do some overseas travel, or if you wanted to relocate where you live to a place that was different and new. I see all of those things being very beneficial for you Pisces. And I'm also seeing that if you were to travel to a new place or move locations or do any sort of traveling, I do see that you would meet connections there. So in March, if you're planning on traveling overseas, moving overseas, I see that that would actually be very good for you. Now, one message that I heard for you Pisces is I really feel as though I feel like a lot of you might be feeling discouraged about something or your talents. You might feel like your talents aren't as good as other people's. I keep hearing the message, Pisces, that you might compare your talents with other people's talents in March, and you might feel competitive against them, or you might feel less than next to these people. But the message I heard for you, Pisces, is if you feel that way, now would be the perfect time to get a teacher or to get someone who would be able to help you refine your skill. And I do see Pisces a stubbornness to maybe do that, or a stubbornness to take advice from other people. But I really do feel like this is something that would be very beneficial for you actually, because I sort of feel like right now you need someone who will help fine-tune you into the direction that you need to be going in. And I really do feel for a lot of Pisces, this has to do with traveling. This could have to do with spirituality, any sort of healing. And I also feel like Pisces, a lot of you, especially beginning of March, you might feel very unsatisfied by everything in your life. You might also feel unsatisfied by friendships. You might like feel the need to get away from people completely and just have complete solitude. Because when I look at the Six of Wands and the Three of Swords for you, this talks about being unhappy with popularity, unhappy with your friendships, unhappy with the people around you. And I sort of feel like Pisces, the reason why you feel this unhappiness is because I really feel like you're being called to take a spiritual path with Saturn going into Aquarius in your 12th house. I feel like material things, fame, popularity, money are all things that you no longer really are going to start caring about, especially in March when Saturn goes into Aquarius in your 12th house. And I really feel like what's going to give you the most fulfillment is traveling, spiritual pursuits, or like I said, learning something you're very interested in and getting a teacher to help fine-tune your talents. Now, another thing I see for some of you Pisces actually is I do sense there could be some sort of heartbreak in your life in regards to a relationship around you. I do feel that. Now, Pisces, another thing that I see for you as well is I feel like in March you are going to be giving a lot of relationship advice, because Venus is going to be in your 3rd house of Taurus starting March 5th. And normally what this means is you become very opinionated about the relationships those that are close to you are in, or it could mean you're giving a lot of relationship advice to people who are suffering with their relationships. But I definitely see, Pisces, you have the gift of being able to give very good counseling in regards to relationships. One big message I heard with the Page of Cups and the Tower is you can't solve everybody's problems. I feel like, Pisces, in the beginning of March, you might feel the need to solve everyone's problems, and you might have your mind focused on other people as opposed to focused on yourself. You might feel like you're giving your energy away to your family or the relationships in your life, and you just might feel like that is a huge stress, worry, or drain. And I see that sucking a lot of your energy, and I see that sucking a lot of your life force. So Pisces, what I honestly recommend for you in the beginning of March is to really protect your energy, because in the beginning of March, the sun is going to be in your first house, which means you are meant to focus on you. And yes, you are meant to help other people, but be sure to draw boundaries, because I do see, Pisces, that there might be like some people in your life, kind of like the Aries, that are energy vampires, that do try to like suck your energy, suck your time, and aren't appreciating everything that you are doing for them. So I do see you doing a lot of selfless service, but if someone is starting to take advantage, be very wary of that, okay? And one thing I see towards the end of March for you, Pisces, is I do see you becoming extremely competitive with Mars being in your 11th house and the sun moving into Aries in your 2nd house. So I really do feel like, Pisces, this is going to be a time when you're really worried about money. You feel very stressed about making money. You want to prove your talents to be better than the people around you, or you might compare what you have in regards to talents, creativity with your friendship circles, like I said, and that could cause a little bit of an issue. And like I was saying, guys, like instead of focusing on other people, Pisces, it's really important for you to focus on yourself and to improve yourself, so when you study, you come back better than everyone around you. And Pisces, I also do see like there could be a lot of spending March 2020. You could spend a lot of money, invest a lot of money into something, and that might be the reason why you you might be so stressed about money. But there's really no reason to be stressed about, as long as you are following your truest calling and passion. And I know that sounds cheesy, but when Saturn goes into Aquarius, it happens every 30 years. This is the time when you're being called to do what you believe in, because if you do what you believe in, it will grant you great success, great reward, great money, but it has to be something you believe in. You have to be somewhere you believe in. Okay, so those are all things that I do see for you, Pisces. Now that's all I have for you. I really hope you have a fantastic month, and I'll see you later. Bye.